Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about beard trimming. And essentially, if you're going up to a certain length, you don't really have to worry about beard trimming too much. If you want just like a kind of short, um, tight beard, you can trim that quite easily at home yourself. Once you go past a certain length, I mean, as you can see, mine's considerable length at the moment. Once you go past a certain length, it becomes a bit more noticeable when you haven't had a decent trim. It's kind of your beard starts growing out in all sorts of random directions, and you just end up looking like a homeless person. And I mean, if that's the look you're going for, then go ahead. That's great. But I personally, I prefer like a tighter, kind of cleaner looking beard. Um, so me personally, I would go to a barber. And the only reason I'm saying that is, I mean, it's perfectly easy for you to trim your beard at home. And there's lots of beard tutorials out there that you can look at on YouTube and online that will tell you exactly what to do and how to trim your beard into like whatever shape you want, whatever length you want. They show you kind of like the tools that you can use. There's something called a Brio Beardscape, which seems really, really popular at the moment. They seem to be the go-to guys if you want to get a decent pair of beard trimmers. So that's the Brio Beardscape. I might put a link down below to Amazon if anyone's interested in checking that out. They want to do like trimming from home. That seems to be the way forward. The only reason I don't trim my own beard is because I did do that once and I made a huge mistake. I just messed up my beard completely. I started on one side and kind of cut too much off, and then I had to cut the rest off on this side and cut too much off. It I ended up, it was like a comedy scene. It was just like this side was getting shorter and shorter, this side was then getting shorter and shorter, this side was getting all shorter and shorter. Eventually, I just had no beard left to trim, essentially, so I had to start from scratch. I mean, if you're confident enough to do it yourself, I was using scissors. I wasn't using like a guard on a pair of beard trimmers, so it is like I've seen the tutorials. It's very straightforward. It's very easy. Um, the only reason, apart from the fact that I had that bad experience at home, is like a barber, a good, really, really good barber. The important thing is you've got to find a good barber, and a good barber is almost like a good therapist. You've got to be able to have an open, honest relationship with your barber. You've got to be able to go in there and feel like you can tell them exactly what you want, and be confident in what you want. You've got to be able to talk to them, communicate exactly what you want, trust them. I've had so many bad haircuts, so many bad beard trims over the years. You really, like, communication is key. You really need to find a good barber. Um, and yeah, they're the guys. They're trained. A good barber is trained. They know how to treat your beard. They know how to cut your hair. And they'll do a great job. And it'll look good and it'll look clean. The last time I got it done, I kind of asked for the sides to be taken in because I wanted to keep the length, but I don't want it kind of going out like, I don't want homeless beard. I want to be kind of have a bit of a clean look while I'm growing out my length. So yeah, essentially they just kind of take a bit of weight out of the sides and then they fade it up into the haircut at the same time, so it looks really clean. Otherwise, it'd be like a big line, kind of a hard line there, where the hair is kind of growing too much outwards. There's too much volume here, so it kind of pings out at the sides. I don't like that personally, so I would get that trimmed down pretty regularly. And when I say regularly, in terms of beard growing, regularly could be, I don't go, I think 6 weeks for me is a good space between beard trims at the moment. Um, the only thing that I would do at home is I do the top lip of my mustache because I don't really like mustaches getting in my way. When it comes to drinking tea and coffee and eating certain foods, I like to keep my top lip clear, and that kind of grows quite quick. So I have to every maybe 2 3 weeks I have to get that a little trim. Really easy, just a pair of scissors. There's not much damage I can do up there, so I'm not that bothered about doing that myself. But other than that, yeah, go to a barber. My other piece of advice is if you do get a really good beard trim, or you get your beard into a position that you like, same with your hair. If you get a really good haircut and you think I really like this haircut, this hairstyle, don't be afraid to take lots of pictures. Get lots of pictures, front, back, sides of the beard, um, and take it to a barber and just say, look, I've got pictures. Can I get something similar to this? Don't be afraid to do that. The more information you can give a barber, the better the experience is going to be. Like, they'll feel more confident in the haircut and the beard trim, and you'll feel more confident. So it's really, it's really about the communication is key. If you are going to go to a barber, make sure it's someone that you trust. That's it, guys. That's as simple as it is. They do appreciate as much information as possible. I've had conversations with barbers in the past, and basically they're not mind readers. That's obvious. You can't just go in there with a vague idea of what you want and expect them to work miracles. That way you end up with a bad haircut or a bad beard trim, and that's not the fault of the barber. The barber could do exactly what you've asked them to do, but because you've been vague, or you've asked them to do something which they know isn't going to look good, but you're not communicating properly, it's just going to look bad, and you're going to feel bad, and they're going to feel bad. So communication is key. Yeah, my advice is get it done professionally. They know what they're doing. I don't trust myself to trim my own beard, so I get it done professionally. Like I said, I'm going to link below the Brio Beardscape, because I think a lot of people are using those for beard trimming. And yeah, essentially that's it, guys. Keep your beards trimmed, because the homeless look isn't good. The other piece of advice I'll give you, this is what a barber once told me. They told me that if you are planning on growing out your beard, to a substantial level, the trick is make sure you've always either got a tidy haircut or a tidy beard. You can never have one or the other. You can never have both together. If you've got like a messy long haircut and a messy long beard, you're gonna look homeless. You're gonna look like a hobo. Whereas if you have like a nice, clean, tight haircut and a big long beard, it looks better, and it does. I mean, that's my own personal experience. I know that. Once my hair grows past a certain point, I do look messy. I look scruffy. So I like to keep my haircuts nice and tight, and my beard looking, long and lustrous. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now, guys. Good luck.